Welcome to the studio. Hey there, if you're new here, my name's Chris. I'm teaching photography and how to start a creative business. I want to say a special hi to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. I'm a product photographer based in Chicago, and today we're doing a photography studio tour. I'll be going through where I do all my client photography and my videography, my YouTube videos, and my desk work. I'll be explaining why I chose this space and the thought process behind some of the things here. But if you want to jump to the tour, just click on the timestamps below. Let's start with the why. Before moving into this space, I was shooting all of my product photography in my living room. I had a table set up with a backdrop rig where I can create any scene I wanted. While this is a fine place to start and it got the job done, I thought it was time for an upgrade. I wanted a dedicated space that I could organize with all of my gear, my props, and have a space that was purely photo and video. The next question was, do I want to get a place with an extra room, or do I want a studio that's outside my house? Ultimately, I chose the extra room because that's really all I need. I need a product photography studio, and for the work that I do, a room in my house was plenty. Now, I do have people that work for me, but they're all remote, so I didn't need an office space or a studio space for them to come to work at. Additionally, having a home office allows you to take a home office deduction on your taxes. Maybe in the future, if I end up needing more space or hire another photographer, I'll expand, but for now, this space is awesome. When designing this space, I needed a few things. Most importantly, I needed a photo and video station. This would be where all my creative work happens. Next, I needed a desk space for all that work. I spend a lot of time at the computer running the business, reviewing edits, and finding new clients. I needed a space that allows for me to focus on my work. Then, I needed storage. Product photography requires a lot of different gear, different props, backdrops, and just general space to store all the products I use. Finally, I wanted to design the space so that I could film YouTube videos in it as well. Making the studio aesthetically pleasing would create a good backdrop for all of my videos. Okay, enough of this. Let's get into the tour. Let's start here with my production setup. As you know, product photography is my bread and butter. I wanted a setup that made it really easy to execute all of my creative ideas. I didn't want any technical details to get in the way of my creativity. This is a work table I got from Home Depot. It's got a couple of drawers which I keep accessories in that are convenient during shoots. It also has an adjustable height so I can move it up and down and position it so it's comfortable to work with. I built this little contraption back here because I wanted an easy way to hang backdrops. It's a clamp on the table that I've screwed in a plumber's pipe into. It's extremely secure and it doesn't shake or move whenever I work. I then took a C-stand arm and clamped it to the side of the pipe. I can then adjust this and move it up and down depending on the height of the backdrops I'm using. If I'm using backdrop paper, I can just add some paper here and roll it down. And if I want to use one of my surfaces, I'll just clamp it onto the pipe. In this corner down here, I have a bunch of different colored papers that I use. I've also got these surfaces which resemble wood, marble, and other interesting textures that I use to build out different scenes. The main lighting setup I use is the single C-stand I have right here. I've got the Godox 400 Pro on there most of the time. It's a super powerful strobe light that allows me to do everything I want. I can do awesome action shots with it since its recycle time is super low. On the strobe itself, I've got an aperture light dome that shapes and infuses light that I just love. Depending on the style of photography, I might throw in a reflector here and there to just help illuminate the product a bit more. I can easily clamp a reflector onto this pipe that I was talking about earlier and we're good to go. So that's where the main action happens. If you're liking the video so far, please drop a like below. Moving on, we've got this pegboard back here. I installed this as a storage solution for a bunch of accessories that I use. I've got batteries, cords, gaffer tape, and all of small stuff that's just hanging here. I think it looks awesome and it gives the room more of an industrial feel, which I like. I've got some cameras and drones hanging off of it, which looks awesome in my opinion. I mentioned I use a lot of props earlier, and I wasn't kidding. This closet right here is 90% full of props. I've got everything in here. Everything from plates, bowls, to wooden boards, to random food props. All these options help me be more creative when designing scenes for my product photos. Up here, I made a bit of a charging station. I've got batteries, USB-C, micro USB, anything you really need. I tried organizing these cables as best as I could, but it's still not perfect. Now, moving on to this wall right here. I've got one of my favorite quotes on here in my Iron Man medal. My girlfriend made me this, and it helps me stay inspired. This quote encompasses everything I do. I'd rather take risks and be uncomfortable than live a safe and simple life. Whenever I feel uninspired or don't want to work, I can look over at that wall. I can see that quote and see that medal. This medal represents all the hardship I endured training and doing this race. Comparing my present situation to what it took to get this medal puts things into perspective. Now down here, I've got a bit more inspiration. This is the first money I made from photography and the first client check I got. I've had this $20 bill at my desk since I first got it, and it's helped motivate me to keep going forward. Above that is my camera setup for YouTube videos. Usually the camera is facing this corner and I've got a teleprompter on it with notes. This is one of my older tripods, so I have it set up permanently back here for a quick and easy setup for filming. Okay, finally, we've got the desk set up. Right now, I'm rocking the 16-inch MacBook Pro with an LG 5K monitor above it. This is my ultimate productivity setup. This computer is super fast and the monitor colors are really accurate. Both of these things are really important in product photography and video. I've got an Apple keyboard, a Magic trackpad, and a Razer mouse down here too. When I was planning this desk setup out, I wanted one of those elevated shelves to make more room, but they're $200 or $300 and I don't want to spend that kind of money on a shelf. Instead, I took this old IKEA shelf and put it on top of a couple books and my G-Raid hard drive array here. It matches my desk well and gets the job done. So this hard drive array back here is 28 terabytes and that's where I back all my files up. I've got it set for redundancy, so if one of my hard drives fails, I won't lose all my data. Now back here, I added this snake plant to give a little splash of green to my room. And yes, it's real. I water it once a week and it's happy. Now back over here, I've got this label maker. Sometimes clients want their products back, so this makes shipping them out a breeze. And as far as speakers go, I'm just rocking a single HomePod here. It's great for what I need it to do. It fills up the studio with music during my shoots and it controls the studio lights. The studio lights are these two Quasar Science light bars I installed which fill up the room with beautiful light. They're 4 feet long and they're 5600 Kelvin, so they're perfect for studio lighting. These go into some smart plugs and I can turn them on and off with my voice. It's really nice when Siri works, but she can be a little finicky sometimes. Now the desk itself is the fully Jarvis standing desk. I've got this dark bamboo on it, which I love. The standing mode I actually use a lot when I'm shooting products. I usually tether it from my camera to my computer, and when I'm walking around and shooting, it's nice to have the computer at a standing height so I can review images right away and zoom in and make sure everything's nice and crisp. As far as the chair goes, it's the Steelcase Gesture. I want to get a really nice chair so that I'm comfortable working. I didn't want anything to get in the way of business, so I spent the extra money on the chair and made sure it was really nice. Like I mentioned earlier, this studio is all about getting work done. Okay, last but not least, you probably noticed all of these panels. These are the sound panels I installed for my YouTube videos. This room has pretty terrible acoustics, so the panels help a bit with the noise. I'm usually speaking to that corner over there, so I've concentrated a bunch of these panels here. And that's the space. It's still a work in progress, and I'm sure it's going to evolve a bit more. I'll get some more decorations on the walls, but for now, it's a highly functional space. If you have any questions about the things I talked about, just leave a comment below and I'll reply. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps my channel and allows me to make more of these. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.